Okay, let's talk about Halloween safety. I've got GFCI, ground fault interrupter plugins, outlets, and all these are GFCI'd off of that one. So what it's going to do is if it senses there's a problem in there, it's going to just trip the power. It's going to, that's why you got a test and a reset, that red button in there. You'll hear that click, everything shuts off. Now that doesn't mean you're safe. You need to check your cords. Make sure that there's no nicks in these cords, that mice haven't chewed on them, that you haven't pulled them across something sharp or around a corner and pulled this outer shielding off in some way. And right at the ends where they plug in, make sure that this area here isn't cracked, frayed, stuff sticking out, right? Pretty important. You need to have a 3-prong outlet so it's grounded all the way back to the service box. This is grounded down to the ground. Everything is grounded out here, I've made sure. So that's something to think about when you're doing your props and things. Overloading, which you can see, I like to overload the crap out of things. I try not to just run one sufficient cord from the box, okay? Instead of having a bunch of breaker bars hanging out of here, I just run one sufficient cord for whatever I'm doing out in the yard. If you're running breaker bars like I do, I'll have a couple of breaker bars out in the yard with several plugins into it, but a lot of it's low voltage. So this is only one of my plug-in places. I plug them into several different zones on different circuits. So I'm not drawing all my power off of one area, right? The other thing you got to keep in mind is with the kind of power, those, I don't think they make a power strip with the little on-off toggle thing, power bar, that goes higher than 15 amp. There might be one that's higher than that, but most every one of them you're going to get is only going to go that high. So you got to keep in mind, you can't be putting out, 150 watt flood lamps and stuff all over the place and expect that to hold. Luckily, a lot of those have a circuit breaker built into them, but the cheapy ones don't, and they can burn up on you. That's not good. So when you're covering up your connections, like I was showing, you stick it under a plant pot, it's probably better to put it on a rock or a brick or something. Most likely it's going to shut off at either these ground fault circuit interrupting outlets, or it's going to go all the way back to your main breaker in the house and shut off if it was to catch fire, right? And typically in the winter time when it's all wet, you're not going to have a problem, but you got to keep an eye on that stuff. I'm not running anything, I'm not consuming massive amounts of power. I have LEDs. I only have a few LED lights. The power supplies that I run are, I don't know, maybe 5 amp max on the two I have running out there in the yard. And then, so I'm not running a whole lot of amperage. I'm not pulling tons of power. If I was going to do something like that, I got to think about this cord. Needs to be, the gauge needs to be bigger, so you've probably seen some of the outdoor cords that are a lot larger than these. These are just light duty home, dig around the house kind of cords. This cord down here is a little bit bigger cord, a little bit heavier. So I have it's a 100-foot cord. So anyway, those are all things to think about when you're doing your home hunts and your whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're plugging stuff in anywhere. Never plug anything that's takes a high draw, like 1500 watt space heaters. Never plug them into a strip, power strip. Plug them directly into the wall. Never rely on that little 15 amp cheesy little wired setup to hold that kind of current. It's just not smart. So anyway, that's one part of the Halloween safety is, you know, make your connections dry and secure. Make sure your shielding is all taken care of on your cords. Make sure that you are grounded, that you have a 3-prong grounded plug. Try to keep spiders get ahead of me. I try to keep even the cobwebs cleaned out of things. Never had a problem with it, but it just freaks me out. I have a timer. This is a Bluetooth timer. You can set it with your phone with an app. I have a couple of these around, and it makes it really nice because it comes on the same time every night. Boom, haunt on, boom, haunt off at whatever time I choose. I can choose days of the week, whatever. And you can get these in a 2-pack. I think they're from Costco. I think this one, I don't know. Can't remember, but probably Costco. Anyway, that's another thought, is putting your stuff on a timer so that when you're at work and you're not able to keep an eye on things, that the power's off. It clicks, that little doohickey right there will turn red, and that's it. Shuts her off. This one, you can plug 2 things in there and then run out from there. Anyway, just wanted to show you some of that stuff, give you some food for thought. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Crowhaven out.